no, another white woman on the internet telling us to be happy. Ah! That's not my MO. My MO is to help inspire others to live authentically and bodaciously. And I know firsthand how if you want to live a life like that, then you have to do more than work on your mindset. You have to have the ugly conversations and the hard truths with yourself before you can fully embrace all of your light and love that's in you. Without the shadow work, don't ever expect to have the balance, courage, and harmony you want to experience during this precious life. Everyone has endured some major BS in their life. I'm not here to minimize that, but I want to help you transmute that. So, why should you listen to me? Because experience is the best teacher and generates wisdom to share. I earned my qualifications from the School of Hard Knocks, and these are my qualifications. I had a horrible speech impediment and was in speech therapy until the 10th grade. Studies have shown that people would rather die than speak publicly. Now, pair that with a speech impediment, and it gets even more brutal. Growing up, I was an army brat that moved around often, and then when my parents divorced as a teen, the moving continued. Moving often might sound amazing, but honestly, it made me feel like an outsider for so long, even in my own family, because my older brother and I, we were the only ones who didn't have planted roots. I still struggle to wrap my head around the fact that most people, they never leave their hometown. What's it like to have roots? If you have them, maybe you can tell me. Like most 90s kids with boomer parents, my older brother and I were latchkey kids. That meant no adult supervision. We could be as buck wild as we wanted. My brother liked to stay home and play video games. Me, on the other hand, I liked to go out and be chaotic. Unfortunately, as I got older, my chaos led me to hanging out with older people who a child had no business being around. And because my parents couldn't stand each other either, I grew up in a loud household. There were always yelling, slamming things, heavy footsteps followed by various forms of abuse. I felt more like a therapist than a child most of the time. And if I wasn't playing therapist, I was ignored. It felt like my parents only stepped into parenting when it came to disciplining. But they were good parents, because they worked to give us things they thought we needed, like family vacations that were tainted by their inability to regulate their own emotions. I would have given anything to grow up in a household where you could speak freely and openly and be met with love and support. It would have been amazing to have parents who helped me solve problems instead of making me learn independently or get defensive when I asked for help. I grew up hearing jokes, but still, they make my skin crawl. Oh, it didn't matter how hard we'd hit you. You would stare us down and refuse to cry, so sometimes we'd hit you harder. Oh, we found you on the side of the road in Germany in a trash can and felt so sorry for you, we took you home with us. I can't tell you how much that impacted me. For so long, I really thought I was adopted because I couldn't understand how we could be related and yet be so different. I've been essayed several times by partners, and the first time it happened, it sent me up to be essayed again later because no one believed me since it was my boyfriend. When I told my parents what had happened, my dad's response, he took my door off the hinges, but he'll swear it was for another completely bogus reason. Because of that, from the ages of 15 to 33, I weaponized the fuck out of sex. My older brother died just before his 23rd birthday. A kid we grew up with, but because it happened in a small town, at my grandparents' home, with my pawpaws hunting pew-pew, it was rude as a sewer slide. Despite all the evidence pointing to foul play, there was no investigation. My brother's been gone since 2006, and to this day, I've never had either parent ask me how that's affected me. My brother was my best friend. We were super close. From 17 to 21, I battled malignant cervical cancer. And I kept my cancer a secret until my doctors and I started discussing more intensive treatments, and someone else was threatening to air my business. Only then did I open up to people about what was going on. And you know what happened when I did? My grandparents' church prayed over a piece of cloth for me to wear in my undies. My friends tapped into their source and sent me prayers. I let strangers pray for me. I started working on visualizing the cancer leaving my body and started to clean up my dietary habits. I started to become mindful of what I was telling myself and what I was putting into my body. How can I ever deny the power of mindset and faith when I've experienced it firsthand multiple times? Life's not good all the time, and it's foolish to think that problems don't exist no matter how happy you think. But to be able to get back up when life starts to throw curveballs, that takes courage, man. That takes guts. To be able to continue to see the silver lining on dark days takes a lot of guts. And that's what it means to live bodaciously. To be brave, daring, cheeky, sassy, and brassy. To embrace your spunk while working through the muck you never deserved. My message, it's not going to resonate with everyone. And that's okay. But I know that when I share stories and share ways to help people handle certain situations, their hope for a better tomorrow grows. And they go forth and they do better because they believe it can and will be better and better. And then they go and they pay it forward. Hey, I'm just a gardener trying to water the seeds of the things you want to grow in your personal garden. Life's hard and things aren't fair, but you can still choose to be joyful and mindful by living your best bodacious life. Do you want to live your life bodaciously with me? Let's be friends.